I'm really excited to be meeting with many of you. What I want to do is I want to be able to take this as an opportunity to talk about Microsoft 365 Copilot, and I'm incredibly excited to be able to introduce one of the product leaders behind Copilot. He's been leading it since before it had a name, back when it was internally called Project Calliope. He's been one of the visions behind how this will come together, not only from a product aspect, but from a Copilot and human interaction aspect. He's also been one of the drivers behind the architecture that's able to tie so many of these different pieces together. When we talk about Copilot, we talk about a single experience that shows up wherever you are. And a lot of that is because of Bobby Kishore. So I'm excited to welcome Bobby Kishore up here to be able to talk about what's new in Microsoft 365 Copilot. And I'll come up at the end and talk a little bit about some of the additional features and capabilities. But Bobby?
Okay. Well, TJ is always quite complimentary. Copilot is a company-wide initiative, and I'm just one of the people who has been very fortunate to play a key part as we shaped it alongside you, and we continue to do that. So what I want to take the first to talk about is how I see the Copilot system coming together. 2 weeks ago, we announced quite a few features of the new Copilot, the new set of capabilities, et cetera, et cetera. And at sometimes it feels like a deluge of so many features. How do you make sense of it? So I've come up with 5 themes, at least the way I view the Copilot system, and I want to walk you guys through that. So first is chat first. We all have been using chat. Chat is a way to interact with Copilot in a whole new way. Chat gives us the ability not only to start in a pure chat-first experience, but also have chat side by side with you. So with Copilot notebooks, Copilot, and Chat plus Pages, you're going to see more and more of how chat and Canvas interact. And those same set of things happen in the flow of work, whether you're in Word, whether in Excel, whether in PowerPoint. With researcher and analyst, you're going to start seeing far more interactivity, where it is not just request-response, but, for example, researcher takes longer because it is collecting and collating information, then synthesizing it and generating a report. So it can take, let's say, up to 10 minutes. So while it is doing that, you are able to go and do, engage in other activities with Copilot or the main applications. So chat first is a very powerful new paradigm now getting introduced into our flow of work. The second is related to the chat-first experience, but it is about integration. So integration is just not about the application integration that we are doing, but it is also about how it is grounded in web data, it is grounded in the work data. You can also, for example, say, here are 2 documents, 3 PowerPoints, 2 PDFs, and use that as the grounding source for you to either create or consume or comprehend or transform the set of Copilot experiences. And while in some cases it may feel a bit choppy, we are very committed to creating a single Copilot experience across the suite of products that we are building. So it's not just about text. As many of you already have experienced all the way from the days of Alexa and Siri, we do like to communicate via voice. So more and more in our Microsoft 365 suite of Copilot, we are going to start seeing audio summaries, audio podcasts. So audio overviews, the easiest way to think of audio overviews is podcasting. So we are all used to listening to podcasts via Spotify or Apple or your choice of podcast players. Yesterday, Jeff Teeper said that he was about to go meet a customer, and he sat in the car, turned on audio summary or audio overview for a customer meeting. So being on the go, sometimes you just want a quick snippet, or you want a lengthy, interactive, deep dive based on what the LLMs can do on the content that you have sourced. So audio overviews is something that you'll see showing up in OneDrive, Word documents, emails, PowerPoint, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing that we are super excited also is in this voice category is real-time voice. For many years, we have had, if I'm in a Word document or in an email, I can press read aloud and choose different voices, different speeds, and I'm able to listen to the content that is on the page. With real-time voice, not only can I do a narration of what I'm seeing, I'm also able to interact. What does interaction mean? I can essentially say, I don't even have to say pause because interruption is built in, is built into this experience. I can just ask a question, and it will reply. Copilot will reply to you in conversational voice. You can then say, skip this, go to the section where this is being spoken about. So this ability, where it is not just a linear read aloud, line by line, but having the entire file and document context is super powerful, which allows for this new way of interacting. And finally, visual. There are text, images, videos, data, tables, charts. Being able to interact, like if there is a dense slide, and this is something you all should go try. If there is a dense PowerPoint slide, you should be able to select that and ask questions of it. And when you ask questions of it, the image understanding drives what is on the slide along with the content that is on the slide. So we are super excited of multimodal. We are in the early stages of multimodal, but I do believe that multimodal is going to be a very powerful way for us to interact. Extensible. So extensible is how does Copilot move from not just a Microsoft play to a play where external partners and your own data, your own applications and tools start showing up, again, in the flow of work. And you might have heard a session yesterday. I don't know if there is today or tomorrow more sessions on extensibility, but there is an entire ecosystem where first party, which is our own tools, think of them as tools and agents, that they end up showing up in the context and flow of work. Also from SAP, from ServiceNow, Adobe, et cetera, and your own homegrown or line of business applications. And all of this is going to be available in the store, in a store type experience. And finally, manageability. The importance of managing Copilot for your enterprise is one of the key features that we believe underpins Copilot, because the needs of our customers are going to be different. So one is that what do you allow, what do you not allow? That is one aspect of it. The other is, as we get into tracking where the usage is, which agents are being used, et cetera, having that dashboard available to IT admins is something that we are pretty proud of. And the way we are constructing it is that the Copilot admin experience is an extension of M365. The M365 admin experience already exists. So the ability to enable, disable agents so that you can make Copilot work for your group, for your company, and even as individuals to make Copilot work for you. That is at the heart of manageability. So I'm going to now ask TJ to come and speak, share about each of these areas and how these are showing up at some level of detail. But before I do that, I do want to leave you with the following. Just like I said yesterday, this is a big tsunami, a big disruption ahead of us. And my singular request is to lean in. Lean in with curiosity, have strategic impatience because there is no map, there is no territory, and we are trying to make sense and build sense together as we rewire the future of productivity. With that, TJ.
Thank you. All right. What I want to do is I want to take a few moments and just double-click on some of the themes that Bobby talked about. I do really want to focus for a moment on these 5 themes, though, because I think the way that Bobby articulated it, and let me tell you, a lot of work went into this, not just in prep for this session, but as we talked about our semester planning 6 months ago. We talked about chat-first experiences integrated deeply into your flow of work. So you didn't have to go somewhere else to be able to use some of the cutting-edge tools. They're already there for you, and you can start focusing on transforming your business practices, not learning something new. We talked about multimodal, ways to engage with your content that are richer and deeper and let you go further into your content. I think some of the original ChatGPT 3.5 demos that the industry did, that I did, quite frankly, talked about summarization. Isn't this cool? I'm going to work with my content less deeply than before. Where I get value out of Copilot personally, the customers I talk to who are transforming their businesses around Copilot get value out of Copilot by going deeper into their content. And multimodal, as Bobby said, is one of the ways that we're going to do that. Extensibility is absolutely incredible. We're going to spend a little bit of time on how important that is, and manageable. I've been told that I cannot stand up here clapping, saying admins, 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 admins. But this is one of our most important areas that we need to focus on, that we need to transform, and that we need to transform together. But as I work my way through that, as I work my way through Bobby's 5 points, I want to start here. How many people recognize or spend your day in something that looks a lot like this? How many spend at least some time every day in an experience like this? I spend 20% of my day now in this experience. And I do so because of many of the changes that we've been announcing recently. I've been able to use it for the past few months. It's moved even more value into this rail. Look, it's a pain when Microsoft makes a UI change. Moving stuff from the right side to the left side, the number of complaints I have gotten about please stop moving icons. But I see smiles and nods in the audience. But what we've done is we've consolidated. And yes, it's a change, but yes, this change will make it more simple. It'll make it more straightforward. It brings more value directly into that experience and will let you achieve more. And the amount of things that we can do in a chat-focused experience are incredibly valuable. One of my favorite tricks that I give as a senior executive who's been using Copilot for a little bit and wants to go a little bit deeper is Windows H. Voice to text. Comes with your device. If you're on Mac, I'm sure there's something cool there too. Just start talking. Just start talking to your Copilot. Be rambly, be out of order, be unstructured, and the amount of things that you can get done and only look a little bit crazy to your colleagues in your open office setting are absolutely incredible. And so I encourage you, go out, try, play with it, go too long, go too unstructured. Do not be a prompt engineer. Just talk to it. And it's that chat-first experience that we think is particularly exciting. Now, notebooks are something I've been playing with over the past few weeks. I can't wait to put this in your hands. The most frustrating thing about notebooks is the fact that I was on a test build and they kept resetting me every few days. Notebooks will give you value over time. I run a big weekly meeting. It's about 2 hours long. We go over all of the customer feedback. All of your feedback, the thumbs up, thumbs down that you guys send us, all of that feedback we review on a regular basis with senior leadership. And I use notebooks to go through the transcripts, to go through the slides that are presented, to go through and say, I need you to help me create a report on this so we can follow up. Or what are some of the trends? Or I want you to look at the last 6 of these meetings and identify patterns that we haven't noticed or addressed as the facilitator. How am I doing in improving over time as a facilitator? We kick off a new white paper. Josh and I are thinking about working on something. We can start aggregating our ideas and our thoughts and other articles into a single place and have a consistent conversation with Copilot together. It's going to unlock a new way of engaging, of operating, and of working with your content. And we know agents. Agents are incredibly powerful. And we're going to be delivering some of the latest capabilities through the agentic framework because that seems like a great approach to be able to land it. Researcher, analyst, skills. We've got a number of capabilities, and we're going to be using this as the way to bring it into your experience because you don't need researcher for every single capability. And we don't want to send you into some sort of menu of 16 different model options to be able to figure out exactly what you want to get done. We think that this is a great way to unlock new value and unlock new capabilities. And I have to say, I've been using Researcher a lot. The amount of work I can get done, the amount I can go deeper, the amount I can go out and achieve as a result of a chain of thought reasoning model that questions how is it doing what it's doing, it gives you that entire chain of thought reasoning as part of its response. It's a nice collapsible window, it's really easy to use. And being able to get to a final report and then go back and say, okay, how did this chain of reasoning work? It's like debriefing a junior colleague who went off and did a research paper for you. And you say, okay, well, did you think about this? And did you think about that? And I never would have thought about that. That's a great idea, but you failed to include this. Rerun it again, but have this particular piece in mind. Copilot is about working with your content in a new way that lets you go deeper and achieve more. Here's another example that we've already announced and we're bringing into the UI, and that is interactive summaries. One of the fun things as a person who works a lot with customers, I recognize a lot of faces in this room. In many of our conversations, one of the things that I've seen consistently, I didn't need notebooks to tell me this, is that nobody likes summaries. Your summaries are too long, your summaries are too short, your summaries are too high level, your summaries aren't detailed enough. These are all the same summaries, people. It's because the people are different. It's because your needs are different. So let's come up with a solution that solves for people and not for the technology. What we're bringing is more interactive summaries. So I can collapse and contract at different areas, I can go deeper, I can go higher level, I care about this topic, I don't care about that topic. I want to ask questions. You also see suggested Q&A up there. We have a pretty good idea about what your first questions are going to be. The model has great ideas about what your next questions could be, and it can help you answer that even before you ask it. It can help provoke new thoughts and new ideas as you're just digging into a topic, or it can let you go even further into a topic area that you know quite well. These are new ways of engaging with your content that we think are going to be absolutely fantastic. How many people have opened a Word document recently and seen the proactive summary at the top? How many have clicked on it? Thank you, you count towards my mouth. Let's try another one. How many here remember Clippy? Every single hand, that was nice. Clippy was fantastic. Clippy was a great idea. Clippy would pop up in the middle of the page and say, it looks like you're working on your resignation letter, can I help you? What was wrong with Clippy is it interrupted you. It blocked you in your flow of work. I hope you've seen, and as Bobby talked about it when he talked about integrated, I hope you see that we're bringing Copilot into your flow of work without disrupting you, with automatic summaries at the top of the document that you can expand, that you can go into, with icons in the margins that you can extrapolate, and I want to go deeper into this topic, but not that topic. You also see in my little capture is being able to look at a summary, being able to look at insights. Maybe your white paper has some numbers in it. Wouldn't it be great if a Copilot could just pick out those numbers and identify trends in your document without having to ask? Wouldn't it be great if it could give you an activity summary? What are all the recent comments and edits that people have made over the last 4 days? Wouldn't it be great if it could walk through the discussions in the comments or give you coaching right there? And as a few people pointed out, GTJ, it looks like there's a lot of extra space in that header, and I say, yes, there is. Greater control. When we talk about getting into and working with our content, one of the first pieces that came up was, I love what Copilot can do, I want more control. This comes up especially in PowerPoint. I want more control over this particular slide. Don't generate a deck for me. That helps. It saves me an hour. But then I want to go deeper. I want to change this particular slide. I want to change this particular picture. I want to change this particular aspect. We are bringing out more and more and more capabilities that help you get there. Narrative Builder. How many people here have used Narrative Builder? Only the Microsofties. All right, we're going to work on this group. Narrative Builder allows you to spell out the story the way that Barbara Mento told us to in Pyramid Principle, that the way that you're taught to whenever you take a class. Spell out your story, change your hierarchy, move things around. We've built that into the product using generative AI. We're going to give you more controls to be able to bring in branded templates, fine-tune around your particular images, and get stuff done. And we're bringing natural language capabilities into Excel. We've got a whole bunch of really exciting announcements that I'm not allowed to go into today. So look for Microsoft Build coming up. But what we are doing is we're bringing more and more natural language capabilities into Excel. We have 40 years of people making mistakes in Excel. We understand what people have done wrong. I've contributed heavily to that database in my career. And we know that if there's an error showing up in one of your formulas, there's probably 3 to 4 things that could be causing that. Why can't Copilot just ground in that particular database and help you solve your errors? Why can't Copilot just say, oh, here, let me explain this incredibly complicated nested formula to you? Or I can give it a natural language request of a data set, and it can create that formula for me. We've got that today. And if you haven't been playing with Copilot in Excel, I encourage you to go do so. Contextually intelligent means two different things, because I was running out of time and I needed to squeeze it into one slide. Contextually intelligent means that we are putting Copilot into the search bar that sits inside your apps. So the little search bar in the top of Word, Excel, PowerPoint is now Copilot powered. That means it will help you dig through ambiguous requests faster. It would help you bring up the tools more appropriate to you more quickly. If you've been using Word in particular, but also Excel in the web apps so far, you would also see that the controls that show up in the tooltip are changing based on the content that you're in. It's aware of the content that you are talking in. If you have a whole bunch of typos in a paragraph, it will recommend, can I fix your spelling errors for you? If you're typing at the end of a section, it will recommend, are you stuck? Do you want me to just keep writing for you? It's aware of where you are in the document and what you are trying to do, and it is helping you without getting presumptive. Now, I absolutely loved this one. As Bobby was saying, audio overviews and conversations are a whole new way to work with our documents. It sounded gimmicky when I first heard this. I use it frequently. And not just I need to listen to a white paper while I'm driving to work, which I do, but I want to have a conversation with a document. Let's say you write something important, something that matters. All of us write for a living. We write job proposals, we write prospectus, we write product specs. You write something that's important, and then you talk to somebody about it. Can you be a sounding board for me? Help me reason through what I've just written here. What if you could use Copilot to be your sounding board on your paper, to walk you through your paper and engage it with in a different way and go a little bit deeper?
Hi, Monica. What can I help you with today?
Can you give me a quick summary of this document?
Sure. This document explores the history of coffee, tracing its journey from its mythical origins in Ethiopia to becoming a global commodity. It covers the initial discovery of coffee, its spread through the Arabian Peninsula.
I'm going to go ahead and pause that because you can't hear the other person speaking at the same time. But Monica is the senior PM who designed this feature and has been working on this feature. We've recently rolled this out. And one of the things you don't get to hear is Monica being rude. She cuts it off. She interrupts it. And it works because she's able to pass the voice directly to the model back and forth. We're not translating it into text and then passing the text to the model and then back and then into a voice actuator. It's actually passing the voice file itself. And that means you can have a more realistic, more human conversation with your document. You can say, does this document cover the origins of coffee, the different sources? Does it go into these areas? How many people have been using Copilot to question your own documents? What is missing in this paper? Where are the gaps in the reasoning in this paper? Where can I improve these things? I'm getting ready for a meeting with the author or this expert on coffee. What questions should I raise them that are hinted at but not answered in this paper? I think interpreter and facilitator are absolutely killer features. Interpreter allows for that real-time speech-to-speech interpretation in Teams. We had a call earlier this week, an internal call with the Microsoft sales team. There were over 300 people on that call from around the world. And being able to have that conversation and to see it and have it come through in real time in your preferred language was transformational. Everybody knows we're coming up on the end of Microsoft's fiscal year, and being able to have high-value, high-stakes conversations about these are our goals, these are our targets, this is what's going to change, these are new products, and hear it in your language of choice changes the way you work with your colleagues. It changes the way that you engage with your content. And we can't imagine a more important way of living up to our mission statement of empowering everybody in the world to achieve more than doing something like that. Facilitator has become very helpful. If you haven't been using Facilitator, the mental relief when you are in a meeting that has all of a sudden become much more important than you thought, knowing that the notes are already there running for you, having something being able to pop up when the meeting has completely gone off the rails. Hypothetically, the meeting has completely gone off the rails, all of a sudden having Facilitator come up and say, you have a number of items still left on your agenda. Do you want to move on to the next item? Is helpful. Because let me tell you, sometimes I don't feel like I can do that. Having an agent that can step in without the level of ego, without that embarrassment, and say, it might be time to move on, actually is really helpful. Now let's talk about extensibility. I'm really nervous to talk about extensibility, not only because Bobby is right there and he's been leading it, but Josh is right here and he's been driving a lot of it, but he's not in the front row, so I can talk about it a little bit. Extensibility is the way that people are going to be building on and extending a lot of what we do. It's a way of working with Copilot and bringing your other solutions into this ecosystem so you can take advantage of everything that we have to offer with your branding, with your approach, with everything that you need to continue to put yourself out there. We are enabling our third parties to be able to see content that's directly in the files, to be able to work with selected content, to be able to inject things like these pictures straight into the conversation. You're not working off to the side. You're not a separate chatbot. You're not a cut and paste away. We're helping our ISVs, we're helping our third parties operate directly in the document itself. And I've raised this a few times, Bobby raised this a few times. This is one of the most important things because when you roll out a new chatbot, that's great. You've given people a new tool. And then all the training to tell people, remember to go to this new chatbot way out here because it's useful. And I bet it is, and I bet people do it. But how much time have you spent introducing something new when you could be spending your time changing the way that people work? This is why we're so excited. This is why we're so excited about extensibility. Being able to say, we are enabling you to inject things, to be able to work with rich text, to be able to create interactive charts, to be able to discover things, to be able to go out and achieve new things in the canvas, deeply integrated, is a whole new approach. My last slides are on admins and agent management. Rolling out agents. First response from everybody, this is really exciting. It's going to completely transform how we work. Second response from everybody, how do we manage this? Lots of nods. Okay, how do we manage agents? Agents are a lot of different things, and I think it's useful to start there. Microsoft is working to provide enterprise-ready management capabilities built into our existing ecosystem so that you can manage agents wherever they show up. Is it a SharePoint agent? Is it something you built through Agent Builder as a user? Is it something your organization built through AI Foundry? Man, that would be really horrible to have a different admin panel for each of those. And we've brought those capabilities together. We're giving you the ability to manage, to be able to control, to be able to roll out, to be able to see who's using what capability. I think some people know, and it's a part of my standard talk track, Microsoft early on rolled out an agent that is tied to our HR. It's supposed to walk you through various HR capabilities. It was horrible, we don't use it. They tried. Somebody else built their own agent that connects to Right's internal services, that passes my credentials in a compliant way, that lets me ask questions to the various HR repositories. And it's become incredibly popular. It's taken over, it's been spread, it's been passed around because you can share agents with each other. And I'll tell you what, our IT admins know about it because they can see in the single dashboard who's using what. This agent was created by this group, and it's being used by these groups. And this is how much people are using it, and this is what they're using it for. They can see it all in a single pane of glass. And what they've been able to do is they've been able to go back to the original team and say, either improve your agents and get your usage up, or we will replace it with this one and take this one over, take it away from that original owner, give it additional permissions, clean it up, and make it the official piece. What I just talked about is some silly internal bureaucratic politics. What I just talked about is also controlled innovation. It's about giving your individual users the tools to be able to go out and get stuff done. While you know they can only get in so much trouble, you can watch them along the way. You can step in at any point, take it over, shut it down, control it, be able to move things around, and drive things as you see fit. We've also been rolling out the ability to see, we are in the process of rolling out the ability to track for the pay-go model. So if you are using Copilot Chat, and if you are using agents there that have pay-as-you-go implications, one of the things that we heard from companies is like, that's great, but it's not near enough, because I'm a large organization, and I want to pass those costs down to the departments that are using it. If one team is using agents very heavily, I want to pass those costs down to that team. We're giving you the ability to track that, to monitor that, to set those up and to control those pieces yourself. It's been one of our highest demanded features. We hear you. We're in the process of rolling it out. And I also want to be clear that we are not done with this particular conversation. We are not done with this particular set of innovations, with where we're going. Everything we've talked about here so far has come from feedback from you. This is great. I need you to go further. This is pretty good, but wouldn't it be great if Microsoft also did this? I am trying to adopt this. I'm trying to change the way in which I work, and I really need the following 3 things. Those conversations matter so much. Bobby, when he was talking yesterday, he got up and he said, he reminded us that 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, when we announced Copilot the first time, we said, moving boldly, we will continue to learn. We will learn together alongside our customers. And we have. And we continue to. And we will keep doing that as we go forward because we are inventing this new world of work together. I don't know, does this group have any questions? Is there anything that you're particularly excited to see? Is there anything in our recent announcements that absolutely did not make sense and you want to spend a little bit of time digging into it? And I reserve the right to ignore your question, but I see a hand. Say it loud and I'll repeat it so everyone can hear. Frontier program. Can I talk a little bit about the Frontier program? Man, I really should have covered that. Thank you. Let's talk about the Frontier program. So we are in the process of trying to get capabilities out to you as fast as we possibly can. We are also in a unique position where Microsoft has been around for 50 years, you might have heard. We are trusted. Most of our customers run their businesses on Microsoft. I know a lot of customers who run their businesses on Outlook. I am not going to put you in a position where you are worried, can I take this update? Will it take down Outlook and therefore my entire company? We are cautious. We are thoughtful. We don't want to just roll out a new experience that is stapled alongside what you are trying to do. We strive to meet those 5 things that Bobby talked about. Is this chat first? Is this integrated? Is this truly valuable for our customers? We also know this space is moving really, really fast. And there's a lot of impatience for saying, hey, Microsoft, when do you roll out a chain of thought reasoning model that makes sense for my business? And you're like, I'll tell you, the response only works so well. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you early access to cutting-edge capabilities that are designed for enterprises while they're still effectively in a beta stage. That's what Frontier program is. Frontier program will be effectively a preview, effectively a beta. We're not calling it exactly the same because it is a little bit different, and our commitments around are we going to actually release this, how are we going to go approach this are a little bit different. So we do believe it deserves that slightly different name. Frontier, as we are in the process of rolling out, will be a system that it's set up so the admins can turn it on or off. I don't want anyone in my environment to have it. I'm a regulated customer, and I don't. That's fine. That's an entirely reasonable approach. I'm okay with that. We also have it set up so admins can say, I want them to have this capability, but not that capability. Little picky? Okay, that's your right. You know your business the best. That makes sense. It will show up in the marketplace, so so your users can go in, they can find it. It will be labeled very clearly. This is a Frontier agent, and they'll be able to use it and set it up. Now, I also know the other half of your question wasn't just how is it going to work, but when are we going to get the thing? We are in the process of rolling out Frontier. I know, I believe the announcement 2 weeks ago said very, very soon. I absolutely know it is before the end of this month that we are going to be rolling it out. We are in the process of doing so, and we'll continue to communicate very, very clearly to users about how we're doing it. One of the things that slowed us down, actually, is we were originally going to roll out US first and do the rest of the world later. The response from customers and also internally to the team that came up with that was, that's not acceptable. Copilot is a worldwide moment. This is a worldwide revolution. We're going to have to go all together. And so we're in the process of doing so. It doesn't mean we'll do it exactly at the same time. We might turn one on a Tuesday and the other on a Wednesday. But we are in the process of moving forward as quickly as we can. We're going to continue to use the message center. We're going to continue to use our tech community. We're going to continue to use all of our comms so that things don't surprise you. But that's the direction we're going to keep moving in. I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, corner me afterwards. I got a thumbs up. But feel free to corner me afterwards, and we can spend some more time on it as well. Please.
The introduction of another notebook kind of confuses me. What's Microsoft's thought, direction, why so many options,
The question was on Notes and Notebook, and I'm going to go find that slide right now. Microsoft has a product called OneNote. Microsoft is introducing an experience called Notebook. In fact, I believe about half of the OneNote team was actually pulled off OneNote to help get Notebook over the hump. That is designing for interoperability. That's taking and applying the lessons that we've learned from one place to another. Now, you did ask, are we going to go and retire OneNote? I'm not hearing any discussion on retiring OneNote, but I am hearing discussion on creating experiences that leverage what we've learned, that leverage what we have gained in different places, being able to take some ideas from OneNote and being able to apply the best of it over here, and to be able to start syncing up so we can ground into each other so that we can build on top of each other, so it becomes a more and more seamless experience as you go. She also raised the question about Loop. What about Loop? Because Loop drives a lot of that Pages experience. Loop drives a lot of what should be a circling demo behind me. But Loop is an engine that allows us to do things. It allows us to be able to put new content in. It's a whole new modern way of collaborating. And we actually think if it didn't exist before Copilot, we've had to go in and invent it all anew. It's almost as if it was designed for a collaborative, AI-first experience. And honestly, I genuinely mean that. Having that experience there, being able to spin something up with Copilot, to collaborate on it, now to use the best of our OneNote capabilities and incorporate that into Notebook so that I can learn on this document, on this PowerPoint, on many different PDFs, to be able to collaborate with my colleagues like Josh or people across the organization to get more things done, to be able to look over time, to be able to take quick notes. We do see those things as being net additive. And it is on us to make sure that we keep that confusion low. It is on us to make sure that we're connected enough that you're able to benefit no matter where you are in the ecosystem. All right. I think I have time for one more. I see one more hand in the back. All right, we have a diehard OneNote fan in the back. I actually saw a lot of heads nodding during that, so I think she is not alone. OneNote is a great product. The question is, right now this is designed to work with Loop and with Pages. It's designed to create these living artifacts. Can it do so in OneNote as well? We're going to continue moving in this strategy of having it connect and build out the Pages. The Pages is an incredibly rich experience, but OneNote is also an incredibly rich experience. Our CEO builds his day around OneNote. My leadership team love OneNote, but we do think that the Pages is the right approach. Our answer to that is going to be focusing on handoffs, making sure it's easy to go into a page, have that collaborative experience, go into OneNote, being able to pull from OneNote items into your grounding, being able to say, I want you to look in this OneNote, pull out ideas and help enrich this particular page, and maybe even publish this to OneNote in the future. We've already rolled out being able to spin up a page collaboratively and then have that become a Word document when I'm ready to publish. We haven't yet scoped it, but we have started to have discussions about should we do so with OneNote, should we do so with other places as well. Keep the feedback coming. We want to know if that's valuable. How would you use it exactly? And we'll continue to think through how we build that out. And I think that's probably a good spot to end. I think talking about how we want to keep this conversation going, not just here in Vegas, but in the tech community, in our forums, in the feedback. Let's keep this conversation going. And I can't wait to show you what we've got planned. I can't wait to hear what you do with it.